Flyover Politic Podcast, the show for normal Americans. On this undisclosed bunker, here's your host, Tony Reed.
All right, we're going to end this show where the media won't end the show. And being that we're all smart people and we've done a lot of fucking researching and all this subject. This fucking subject has been going on since 2016. Kids in cages happened under Obama, but they pinned it on Trump with some fake photos from fucking PBS. And just like Michael Brown's hands up, don't shoot, it still lives that Trump puts people in cages, whereas Biden company lost, 160,000 kids? They didn't know where the fucking things were. They didn't know where those kids were. They didn't know. And we know now this whole thing for Biden and the left, it was just a scheme to get voters. They put DACA on ACA. Then they put the family members of DACA on ACA. They did a streamline to get them fucking citizenship. We start giving subsidies to both those groups to make them vote for us because the polling was bad, because crime was bad. And since we don't track illegal crime in America at the FBI, they go on your TV and tell you all the time they're just a bunch of peaceful migrants coming here to wash my toilet. I wash my own toilet, by the way. It's all faux. It's all fake. It's all narrative. The left gets away with it all the time. The right couldn't. If this subject was so important to the media, why didn't they force the Dems do it when they did the ACA, which is neither Affordable Care Act? It's neither affordable or Care Act. It's not. It's garbage. It's military medicine. They could have changed. They could have changed it. And what you're seeing in the streets is just that we're focusing on it. It happens all the time. Biden, Obama, everybody deports these fucking assholes. But it used to be that we worked with ICE and we kept them on detainers, held them in the jail, we come and grab them, we go home. The abuela, esposos, and bambinos don't get pulled into that shit, but you're letting them all go and you're fighting ICE. You won't let the police go. We just watched a car get broken into. It took an hour for the cops to show up. A guy got fucking guns and sensitive documents. It's still ICE's fault because somebody should have gone and stopped it. But then when you look at the hotel, they couldn't get out the fucking building. The police are not helping. The police aren't doing anything. They're obstructing. Politicians are telling them to go out in the street and fight. We've had, how many rammings have we had? I just closed on Seattle head on purpose. He walked. But just like J6ers, 2,400 going to go to jail for trespassing, none of these people are going to get in trouble for anything they do because we have different laws. And that's a dangerous thing. What the media, the left, and all these people want is that Republicans go out, or conservatives or non-Americans, and they start defending ICE with pistoles and ARs. And then a fight happens, and then they can blame the right, just like they did with J6 after George Floyd destroyed cities. And everybody walked. Biden pardoned them. We don't ever pull that up. We talk about Trump and J6. He pardoned all them motherfuckers. We had think pieces about two college kids that just got wrapped up in the moment and threw a Molotov cocktail on a cop car. You just made a mistake. But you walk into the Capitol with the door open by a cop and you get hard time. Sedition, insurrection. These are dangerous things. And it's being head by the media who keep pushing it. They don't talk about the shovels. They don't talk about the internal bleeding. They don't talk about how she's a fucking trained activist by Rise and Resist all over the country, teaching people how to block, how to do this, how to do that. All paid for by dark Dem money when the Tea Party just stood in town squares and we knew everything about the Koch brothers and they found one person with a gun and happened to have a black hand attached to it. That was very interesting. You know everything about the Proud Boy. You know everything about the White Front or whatever that fucking one is where they bunch of Democrats come out and start walking whenever things aren't going for the good of the Democrats. Nobody knows anybody that's actually in it. Some Aryan group. You don't know shit about Antifa because it's an idea. Yeah, I just played like 8 Antifa videos. This shit's dangerous. It's so dangerous. We cannot live in a republic, a country, a city, a town where you don't apply laws because you don't agree with it. We can't have politicians telling military people, don't obey orders. You can't do that. We did it during Bush. They made a guy who refused to fucking go to war to be a hero. And by the end of it, the bean counters let that motherfucker walk with a general discharge. He should have gone to Leavenworth and made big Iraq to small Iraq. This is the laws. If you don't work with ICE and you release people that are murderers, rapists, all this shit, it's all true, then the abuela, the bambinos, the esposas, all get wrapped up because it's the law. So when you were pushing the Affordable Care Act to try to get people to vote for you back in the 2012 timeframe, maybe you should have worked on the Gang of 8, the Gang of 6, the Gang Bang, all those groups you guys had that came up with fixes to the fucking immigration problem, but it was the wrong party heading it, so we're not going to do it. We're not going to have a pathway to citizenship. We're going to take Haitians who eat the dogs and eat the cats and just throw them in southern towns and have midnight flights of motherfuckers just showing up with an NGO telling people to fuck off. And they ferret them into your city. And they pass laws that they can have an ID card because you need a driver's license. They get it before you fucking get the driver's license. And then they got to go fucking vote in local. So, of course, they're voting on the election. Nobody's checking that shit. We don't check IDs. Even though 70% of black people say IDs aren't racist, they have an ID because they need to buy the Cavassier. I fucked the joke up earlier. The point is, we say we don't need IDs. You don't need a signature. You don't need to prove where you live. You can just vote everywhere. Fuck it. Because we're Democrats. All because you lost an election. Michelle Goldberg wrote, we can replace them, 2018, New York Times. We did it in Georgia and flipped it and won it for Biden, but then we got caught with that $4 billion going into a bank with $1,000 that never happens, and she gets caught doing illegal shit. Oops, you lose 2024 because you changed all the laws to win that shit and faked a fucking pipe leak with suitcases full of votes. You tie all that in, and Democrats and the media don't give a fuck about the damage that's coming down. They don't care about these ICE guys getting beat up. They don't care to talk about the shovels hitting them. They don't care to talk about she hit him with the car, and she's been doing it for a long time because she's part of a resist group. They don't care that politicians are saying on their Twitter, look here, there. They don't care that CNN's pushing apps to tell you where people are. They don't care that it's a full-fledged insurrection against federal law enforcement that would not be tolerated of the current occupant in the White House had a dick behind his name or a D. This shit is gonna get violent. And they want that. They need a J6. They need people to go out and bust a cap. That's what they want. That's why they're doing it. That's why Waltz, Frey, the fucking 2 terrorist sisters, Tlaib and Omar, are running their cock traps. They're trying to get more people out to ferret out in the fucking 15-degree weather and raise a ruckus. Last night, my wife watched 5 fucking fires that by the time the fire department finally put the shit out and got the sheriff out there, they went back and started again. The fucking sheriff drove by and went, fuck this shit, I quit. Done. I'm fucking done. You can't have a country that doesn't follow laws. These laws have been around forever. They've been enforced by every administration, and there's no country in the world you can walk in, sit down, and say, eat a bag of dicks, I'm living here. Right now, as we speak, they're deporting people in Mexico. Esposas, abuelas, bambinos. They're getting tossed. from other countries, white people, and it'll be covered this weekend, probably by Sunday, and it'll be, look at them. They're doing it because of Trump. Because of Trump. We've never seen this. Trump. We've never deported people before. Trump. We never put guns in people's faces. Clinton. Jesus Christ, people. It's the fucking internet. All you got to do is go past page 1 of Google, pushing that liberal shit, and you're going to find pictures of a fucking Fed doing this with an Uzi in a 5-year-old's face or 8-year-old. I remember what it was, some fucking kid from Cuba. Didn't have a problem then. Nope. But now we got mama sons running around jamming their cars into motherfuckers. You should be out of this country. You're enforcing the laws. From the same people that said J6 was worse than Hiroshima. You fucking asshats. So, since you won't do it, I'll fucking do it. How about this? A teeny slice of the pain and suffering that is happening to Americans because you wanted to win a fucking election, Democrats. $11. That doesn't include hit and runs. It doesn't include all the DUIs. It doesn't include the property damage. You've been with the show. I was talking about this shit in 2016 with a friend of mine handed me some data on what Arizona used to track before it became purple state of all the damage, like $350 million in just damage from illegals. Billions. Media won't even cover the fraud because it doesn't fit their narrative. They want to mock, eat the dogs, eat the cats, but they don't want to talk about why were all these Haitians sent all over the place. Didn't we learn in Dearborn that it became the biggest recruiting ground for ISIL? That if you throw a bunch of undocumented, unvetted Syrians, Libyans, Omanians, Somalians, Iraqis, and Afghans, they might fucking want to blow shit up. But yeah, it's Trump. And if you stumbled on this, I ain't MAGA. I ain't a Republican. I ain't a Democrat. But I can smell bullshit. And what's going on in the streets of Minneapolis, Chicago, Los Angeles, wherever there's blue, is against the law. And the media know it. And everybody doing it knows it. But we're going to excuse it. But the moment a motherfucker defends himself, does a Kyle Rittenhouse, you watch the tables turn. We need to respect police again, goddammit. So that wraps up another